Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things this life is showing you? Where are you going to? Do you know? That's Diana Ross. She sang it a lot better than I did. Mahogany, 1971 was the album. And great song. And it really ties in with what I was going to talk about today. And I wasn't even thinking about the song. So it just popped in my head when I was driving here to do this. I have to get my Dunkin' Donuts. And I like that. It's very serendipitous. The synchronicities of this world. And even more so, I think it strengthens the idea of speaking things into existence, which is what I want to talk about. Because we often will stagnate and over-fascinate upon the negative. We constantly talk about the things we can't do, how it's impossible, how this will never happen for us. And we get frustrated, and we talk more about it, tell other people about how this isn't working, how we want this, but we'll never have it. We need to speak our success into existence. And it's not just, abracadabra, hocus pocus, magic words, but there is something to be said to speaking our truths, living our dreams, and manifesting. The more you hyper-focus on the negative and say, oh, this will never work, this is never going to happen, yeah, it probably won't. But if you believe, if you take steps and believe, faith also needs action. But you have to do it. You can't just sit around and never give yourself the chance. So yeah, sometimes, you may not like the things that life is showing you. So it's time to change the damn path. And it's not easy, which is where a lot of people run into that first hurdle and give up. So yeah, you're not going to achieve your dream, and you're not going to reach your goal, and you're not going to change your life if the first thing you do is say, oh, this is difficult, I think I'll stop. Not for me, kids. You need to put in the time. You need to put in the effort, and it starts by speaking your truth and putting your success out into the world. When I first started to do motivational speaking, here's a little secret. I hadn't done any motivational speaking because it's not something that you just do your whole life, but it's something I wanted to do. So when people would ask me about, what it is I do and what it is I want to do, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a motivational speaker. I'm going to, start speaking at schools. I'm going to start speaking at organizations. And sure enough, people started booking me for schools and people started booking me for organizations because I said, this is what I do. Now, please keep in mind, you can't be like, oh yeah, I'm a brain surgeon, and then just, go do brain surgery. Like, there's certain things that you need to work on to get there. But I had to do the same thing. I had to, I had to harvest the information that I wanted to relay to people. I needed to look at my own life experience and see things that I found were helpful to move me along. I had to read various books of some of the great other speakers that are out there and see what kind of things that they found useful in putting out for people. And it's just important for us to constantly be researching and refining ourselves. This truck is a very loud air brake, and I apologize because he's going to come driving by here now. There he goes. Pull the horn. Nobody wants to pull the horn. It would have been fun. Anyhow, speak your success into existence, whatever that may be for you. It may not be a career thing. It may just be being happier, which is probably the most important thing, to be quite honest. But if you get up every day and you say, oh, I'm depressed and I'm sad and nothing ever works out, you can't really be surprised if you're always sad and depressed and nothing ever works out. You need to find a way to create more joy in your life. And that may not be as easy as it sounds either. Life is interesting. Life is a lot of things. But I think one of the things that is always true is that life is a series of moments. And I feel like we often glaze by that because we look at our lives in how they're measured. And they're measured in time, a construct that we came up with ourselves. Dinosaurs weren't walking around looking at the clock. Maybe they should have. They could have figured out that meteor thing. But we are constantly judging ourselves by the clock. We're constantly racing against time. We're constantly running out of time. We're constantly saying we wish we had more time. I wish I could make more time. Well, you can't make more time, because time doesn't really exist. But what you can do is you can make more out of each moment. Slow yourself down a little bit. I know this life, this world is very fast-paced. Slow yourself down. Take a moment to breathe. Take a moment to look at the sun. Not directly, that's how I burnt my eyes out. But take a moment to appreciate the sunset if you see it. The sunrise if you get up that early. Take a moment to step outside of your house at night and look at the moon. Take a walk in the grass. There are lots of moments in this life that we just glaze right over. And they're beautiful. They're magical. And if you can start stretching those moments out, those joyous moments, you'll have added joy to your life, made yourself a little happier, changed your existence a little bit. So I guess today what I wanted to talk about was speaking yourself into a more positive place, whether that's work-related, financially, or just overall joy and happiness, which is the most important thing. So here's to you, my friends. I hope that even though you may not know where you're going to, because life is a journey, that you'll enjoy the little steps that you take. And if you don't like what life is showing you, stop talking about the negative.